Welcome to the vlog.
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 Welcome to the vlog. Season 6.
Welcome to the vlog!
This is my favorite week of the year, potentially. I just love being in Penticton and the weather and how nice it is. Turner wasn't staying with us for the week and we went to get breakfast together. I immediately spilled my matcha on myself, but I had a nice time with him. I uploaded the vlog and then we got on our recovery ride. Getting out to OK Falls was really easy, but on the way back we had some terrible headwinds, so we ended up only doing 40 kilometers. And then for lunch we went out near Summerlands and we went to a winery to have lunch. We had a lovely meal and this winery specialized in bubblies, so we did a little flight. Then I got home and ended up doing a run session, but look at the winds, like it was just crazy on this day and there was some uphill. We got home, watched the Tour de France and just had a nice dinner. So overall Monday was a good recovery day and then we were up and walking. Good morning. I'm living my dream life right now by waking up naturally due to the sunlight, going on a walk, having breakfast, not having to work, and now I get to go on a ride. Today's gonna be the big ride of the week. We're doing 100 kilometers. They're gonna be 100 like easy kilometers, I hope. So let's get into the kit. I think the move today is my Girona jersey. So cute. Samsara shorts. Nutrition for the ride. I freaking love these things. We're up. We're happy. While we're in Penticton, I always like to have a longer ride day. It's just so nice out there. It's hot. It's perfect road riding weather, and I needed to get some aero bar practice. So we went out and got a tailwind on the way out, so I got lots of aero bar practice. The scenery is so beautiful too. Like these shots really don't do it justice how gorgeous riding in the Okanagan is. On the way back we were obviously fighting a headwind and it was so tough. Like at this point I was feeling really discouraged from the rest of the ride, but fueling saved us.
I know this shit is so obvious, but I was feeling pretty crappy at the bottom of these hills before we had a bit of a rest and drank a bunch of sugar and had some electrolytes and I just flew up those hills. Yeah, every lesson I learn about fueling, it's obvious, and yet it's sometimes hard for me to like actually adhere properly to fueling, but I'm actually feeling pretty good today and feeling strong still despite going uphill in a headwind. So not bad. I'm gonna be waiting here for my dad and then we have about 18k until we get back.
I had some leftover pizza as soon as I got home, did a little bit of reading, and we just ended up benefiting from Mark and Chiquan making dinner. It was so delicious. And then I was really craving ice cream, so we went to Tickleberries and we got an espresso chocolate flavor. Next morning was our bike ride and we were doing a gravel in particular. My dad and I, we've been trying to get to Chute Lake for a couple years now and we've never made it. Last year I had a crash and in 2021 when we attempted, it just wasn't working out that day. So this ride is 44 kilometers of uphill to get to Chute Lake Resort, and it's a beautiful ride as you can see, but once you get around 27 kilometers, the path becomes a lot rockier and there's 1 kilometer that's pure sand, and in the end it's almost like 900 meters to get to the top and 44 kilometers. So it was a tough ride to get there, but it felt so gratifying getting to the top. Me and my dad had a beer together and we had to make a lunch reso that was originally at 1:15, so we were trying to gun it down the hill to get home. We were pushing really hard. It would have been nice if we had been able to relax, but nope, we had to push Pete. Luckily we ended up moving the reso. My mom moved the reso to 1:45, so we made it. And this is another Penticton tradition that I adore. We go to Poplar Grove. It's the most gorgeous place in the world in my opinion. We had a lovely lunch there, of course dessert, and we went to Petit Abbé, but I forgot to film there. I was just having a good time. In the evening, we just made a nice dinner, watched the Tour de France, best tradition ever, perfect night. Next morning, we were going on a ride with some of my mom's friends from medical school, so we had to put a cute kit together. And what's really nice is my mom's friends, they live in the Okanagan, so they know all of the great bike routes, so they took us on such a gorgeous ride, and it was actually a lot of uphill. Like this shot, it never does it justice how like hard these hills are. I think it was like 9%, 10% at certain points. So I had such a good time pushing myself and climbing. I got lots of power PRs, and we ended up riding out to this point, to this Camp Boyle place, and I remember like seeing that, and it was so beautiful, and the camera just doesn't do it justice. We had like a lunch of leftovers. I had cherries and then napped for like an hour and a half. Obviously the Tour de France was on, and then we had a nice dinner with everybody. Next morning, leftovers for breakfast, and then it was our last ride in the Okanagan. So sad. I love training camp in the Okanagan. Since we were having to drive all day, we were wanting to leave early, so we only did 25 kilometers, but I was just really enjoying the lake and the beauty of the Okanagan and just taking it all in before I leave for another year. And the ride back actually went well, except for we almost got into a car accident, but we were okay. And we were having dinner at my parents' house because my family's here and they're leaving the next day, so we just had to say bye and spend some quality time. And then I got home and got to sleep in my own bed, which was nice. And then Saturday, I wanted to get some aero practice in, so I put on a cute kit, got myself together, and went out to Iona. And I was really pushing on this ride. I ended up doing 80 kilometers in less than 3 hours, so I was super proud of myself. And then I got to go to my grandparents, and it was really nice to see them after a little while. We had a nice lunch together. Look at Molly. She was going on a big ride this day too. She was looking so cute. And then I got home and I ended up going to Nathan's race. He's doing a crit race that was near my place, so it was so much fun to see.
2, 1, andiamo!
I've really only witnessed fondos in person. I've never seen crit racing in person. It was so incredible and fun to see, and especially since I knew someone riding.
Too fast, way too fast.
The ride that Nathan was doing was 40 minutes of going around the race course and then 5 extra laps on top of that. And this is like slowed down to 10% of its original speed. And it still looks like they're going fast. Like, it was so fun to watch. They were taking the corner so tough, and Nathan did an amazing job. I got home, edited, and I walked out to meet up with Silk, and people were still riding. We went to Song by King Cow to have the most delicious dinner, and me and her went on a little walk afterwards, saw some cute kitties. It was great. Then the next day I was off to do a really scary thing before the end of the weekend. Doing a little brick session, nothing crazy, but I think brick sessions in general are just crazy. You guys, it's cold, 15 degrees, so we got the arm warmers on. This is my tri-suit that I'll be wearing next week in the race. Last time I did a brick session, totally failed on the nutrition, so we're gonna do a bit better this time. So I already have some nutrition here in my back pocket. I'm gonna take the mid-ride, and then I have this for my transition. Oh, also I'll probably have some nerd gummy clusters during the transition. And then I have some coconut water that I'll down once I get home as well. I have my hat from the run. I'm just gonna like fix my hair a little bit. I won't do this on the actual race, but comfort for today. I'm gonna fill this up with my water for my run. And then this is Molly's, but I might apply a little sunscreen. I'm like procrastinating leaving because it's cold outside, but I wasn't trying to give myself a super challenging ride because I haven't done a brick session since May. I ended up just going to Deep Cove, and I think that's about 600 meters of elevation, and I was pushing a little bit. I was going around 24 kilometers an hour, so I felt really good about my progress. I'm trying to decide if I should use the washroom or not because I do have to pee, but oh, you know what I forgot to do? I was a dumbass and forgot to get my running shoes ready and put all the insoles in. This is honestly not a speedy transition, but hopefully, you know, this is a good lesson on the actual day next week. I'll have to put my insoles into my running shoes and think about how to pack shoes. Oh, I'm all flustered because of that. Nutrition. Don't say I don't eat. Oh fuck, I'm already like 5 minutes into the transition. Thank you, Molly. You know what? On the day of, the transition food are gel. I love these, they taste good, but
I'm eating them too slowly. I just got in 250 calories once I finish this. I burned 1,000 on the ride. I had 150 calories while riding. I want to get around 10K, like just about an hour. Okay, we're good.
I was expecting to feel a little tired on the run, but I actually was pushing out some good speeds. I was going on average 5:26 for the whole run, and I ended up stopping to use the bathroom because I just was uncomfortable. But then afterwards, I was getting total runner's high. Okay, my break is done. I'm honestly feeling kind of emotional. Like, it just felt really strong doing it. And I think also when you're like pushing yourself that hard, like it's hard to emotionally regulate. So right now I'm just like crying because like that went so well, and I feel really ready for next week. And it's really scary that I have to do a half Ironman next week, but yeah, I just feel more encouraged. I aim to end around here because it's near the MEC. I'm gonna pick up some gels and other stuff for the race next week, and then I'll walk home and it's a nice cool down. Once I got home, all the hard work was done and all I had to do was refuel, rehydrate, and relax. The rest of the day was really relaxing and fun. Just did some editing, and then Turner came over. We went to a Avik to get a little treat and went on a nice walk, and then Sarah came over and she has a new puppy. He was a little shy at first, but he eventually warmed up. We got some sushi and just spent some time in Jonathan Rogers Park. It was a really nice, relaxing evening and just good to be outside. My wonderful week on vacation and being in peak biking shape has come to an end. Maybe not the last half of being in peak biking shape, but all my fun training is going to be here in Vancouver while I have to maintain a full-time job again. I'm a little bit pessimistic about heading back to work. It's just because I've had so much fun this past month, I guess, being on vacation or just being away from Vancouver. Even if I was working a little bit, I have no vacation days anymore for the rest of the year. So I'm being pessimistic, sorry. I just am like, I had the best week ever, and so I am feeling really grateful and I'm feeling really strong right now. And next week we're heading into my half Ironman. I'm going to be going to Calgary for the weekend to do the race, and I'm feeling really confident about it, especially with how well the break session went today. I think everything is going to go fine with work as well next week. I just have to just let go of that feeling of wanting to not do it and just embrace the fact that I do love my job. Like, I really do. I just don't want to like not go back to not sleeping, so I think I just have to find a way to prioritize sleeping for me. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.